Hey everybody, welcome back to video 2 of cold brewing your coffee. This one is all about water. Water is really important. I found out when I was researching this blog that you gotta have some minerals in your water to extract the flavor from the coffee. Otherwise it's going to be bland. A long time ago I started using distilled water when we were using a Mr. Coffee type, just so that I wouldn't have to deal with all the deliming. And so I continued using distilled water when I made my cold brew. And being that it was Hawaiian coffee, it was really, really good, and we didn't know that it was bland. Trust me, it was. Because when I found out about it, I tried using filtered tap water, and it was amazing. You wouldn't believe the difference it made. Oh, God. So, filtered tap water is generally the best. You know, you can buy a sink top filter, you know, that screws onto your faucet, and just run it through that. It'll be good. But what if your house has a built-in water softener or reverse osmosis unit? It's going to give you soft, almost distilled water. That's going to make bland coffee. No problem. Or what if your water supply is just so nasty that you just can't drink it, and you have to use bottled water for bathing, bathing, drinking, cooking. There are two companies, and there are links in the description below and in the written blog that give the name of two companies that make mineral supplements that you can add to distilled water, and it'll make that water perfect for coffee. So now that we got water taken care of, let's go and add some and make some coffee. Now for myself, I found that 42 ounces of water is perfect. So I like to pour some in beforehand, because I found out if I start stirring, my pot wants to go walkabout, and I don't like that. I don't feel safe. So I pour some in to weigh it down, and when you're stirring, you want to use either a plastic or a wooden spoon, or fork in my case, because if you use a metal spoon, two problems might happen. One, as you're vigorously stirring, the metal one might break the glass beaker. That's a bad thing. Number two, the metal spoon might impart a metallic taste to your coffee, and you don't want that either. So, stir it up good, and when you're rinsing off your spoon or fork or whatever you're using, make sure you don't do what I have done when I first started doing this, which is I was so concerned that the water was landing on here that I let the end move out of the beaker, and so water and coffee grounds were pouring onto the counter. Dumb. Oh, dumb. Okay, so now the only thing that's remaining to be done is cover up the coffee. I like a fat rubber band. Put it on there. Take a gallon storage bag. Any gallon storage bag will do. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. Store brand is fine. And I just tuck it in underneath my fat rubber band. There. And now my coffee's all set. Well, actually, now it's brewing. And most of the brewing guidelines on the coffee websites say 12 to 24 hours. I like to let my coffee brew for at least 48 hours. At least. Does that mean it could brew more? Yeah. Sometimes it brews for 3 or 4 days. It doesn't matter. The longer it brews, the more good flavors it's going to extract from the coffee, and the better it's going to taste. You're going to have to experiment to find your sweet spot. It might be 12 hours. You're going to say, oh, it's too strong otherwise. Fine. But the longer you brew it with cold brew, it will never get bitter. It'll never get acid. It's just going to be the most wonderful thing. I can hardly wait for this to be done. Okay. See you all later for the wrap-up. Remember, summer's coming. It's time for iced coffee.